The IRS audit, two words that makes every taxpayer nervous. But what actually triggers an audit? How do you avoid one? And what should you do if you make a mistake on your tax return? Today we are breaking it all down in simple terms that make sense. Assalamu alaikum, I am Author Syed and welcome to the channel where we simplify finance, business and personal growth. If you are new here, consider subscribing now. Let's dive in. What triggers an IRS audit? An audit doesn't always mean you did something wrong, but certain things increases the chances of getting flagged. Here are the biggest triggers. Reporting a very high or very low income. If your income looks unusual compared to others in your tax bracket, the IRS may take a closer look. Excessive deductions, large business expenses, home office deductions, or charitable donation that seems too high can raise a red flag. Cash heavy businesses. If you run a restaurant, salon, or any cash-based business, the IRS keeps a closer eye on unreported income. Big changes in income. If your reported income fluctuates drastically year over year, the IRS may want to verify the numbers. Mismatched information. If what you report doesn't match what the IRS received from your employer, banks, or clients, like 1099s and W-2s, expect a letter. How do I avoid getting audited? While there is no way to guarantee avoiding an audit, you can lower your chances by filing an accurate return, double-check all numbers before submitting, keeping receipts and records if you claim deductions, and be ready to back them up. Avoiding rounding errors, report exact numbers, not estimates. Matching reported income, make sure your W-2s, 1099, and other reports align with your tax return. Using a tax professional. If you have a complex finances, a CPA can help reduce errors. What should I do if I get an IRS audit notice? First, don't panic. Most audits are done by mail, not in person. If you receive a letter from the IRS, steps to take. Read the letter carefully. It will tell you exactly what the IRS needs. Gather supporting documents, find the receipts, bank statements, or any proof needed. Respond on time. Usually, the IRS gives you 30 days to reply. Consult a tax professional. If the audit is complex, consider hiring a CPA or tax attorney. How do I amend my tax return if I made a mistake? If you realize you made an error after filing, don't worry. You can fix it by filing Form 1040X. Amended tax return. How to amend a return? Gather your original tax return. Use Form 1040X to correct the mistakes. Submit it electronically or by mail. Wait for IRS processing. Amended returns take up to 20 weeks to process. What are the penalties for filing taxes late? The IRS doesn't mess around with late filing. Here's what happens if you don't file or pay on time. Failure to file penalty, 5% per month up to 25% of your unpaid taxes. Failure to pay penalty, 0.5% per month, also maxing at 25%. Interest on unpaid taxes. The IRS charges interest until the full balance is paid. How long should I keep my tax records? The IRS can audit return up to 3 years old, but in some cases 6 years or more. Keep tax records for 3 years if no major issue exists. 6 years if you underreported income by more than 25%. 7 years if you claimed a loss for a bad debt or worthless securities. What happens if I get a tax notice from the IRS? If you get a notice from the IRS, don't ignore it. Here's what to do. Open the letter ASAP. Many issues have a deadline to respond. Read it carefully. The notice will explain why they contacted you. Follow the instructions. Some notices require action while others are just informational. Verify accuracy. Sometimes the IRS makes mistakes too. It helps if needed. If it's serious, talk to your tax professional. What to do next? Review past tax returns for accuracy, organize receipts, and financial records. If you get an IRS notice, don't ignore it. Take action. Have you ever received an IRS letter or had to amend a return? Let me know in the comment. Like and subscribe for more tax insights. Assalamu alaikum.